We got the media team in here. We're the media
We're the
team.
media team. We got content. TV's in the go. We got TV in the go, Wack.
You looking for that fire Clubhouse content? Well, you need to subscribe to the home. Hey, yo, Clubhouse TV. Let's get to the content.
That's a good one.
In the block.
And he wasn't even in.
No, he was. First of all, she died at the Beverly Hills Hilton. She was in a hotel.
Right.
Clive Davis' birthday party. You know, she always usually perform.
Mm-hmm.
So he was on his way to her because they were supposed to go together. Because I remember his mama and Brandy was mad. And mama and Brandy was like, because they was trying to make an announcement that they was together.
He said he was at a show, I think, in San Diego on his way back up.
He was on his way back up. She was waiting on him. But they were supposed to make an announcement. They was going to make an announcement that night when she performed for Clyde that they was together. And his mama and sister was tripping. They didn't want him to do it. He got there. By the time he got there, she was already gone. That's why, actually, I'm glad you said that because I got to go get that money. Baby, remind me to call the attorneys today, Sim, about that defamation they did in Puffy trial. They gonna pay for that one.
Oh yeah, mentioning his name. Yeah, he mentioned that too.
Motherfucker said was a drug dealer. The witness on the stage was like, Stan was like, I don't know nothing about that. I've never said that.
That's what he.
Yeah, they just randomly say, and Ray J was your drug dealer.
Saying, like he basically was saying that he ain't feeling like everybody calling him a drug dealer. Everybody saying. They kill Whitney. Every time he get online, they say, you kill Whitney, and he like, shit, that should be for
he really cared for her, so he
too.
Oh yeah, I mean, we know little bro know what he doing.
He also say he be peeping the algorithm. He's a geek when it comes to that. So once he sees what industries to tap into, what to do, you know, all that's like business. So it also gave us a better perspective that he's just not spiraling out of control. This dude is a genius. You know what I mean?
No, you got to remember, Ray J is a real actor,
right?
Entertainer. He know how to turn that shit on and off like drop of a dime. You know what I'm saying? Going to character on your ass quick. And if you don't know him, you won't know. R&B would trip. She be like, YouTube is like, y'all turn that shit on and off real quick. Like R&B done been around at the regular Ray J. But she see that when he go on the character, that phone ring, or somebody pop up for a meeting or something, oh, they go, or if it's time to troll, he'll troll. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he don't get, who was that? He was just up there with the funny ass hats. Ray J is going,
Cam Newton.
He's gonna say some shit to where he gonna be like, wait, hold on, what is he saying? That's all he wants you to do, because he know you gonna go talk about it. Did you hear what Ray J said? That's all he want. What you mean? Listen to this. He'll say some shit like, wait, what is he talking about?
I said Mickey and Minnie's is rats, but that's another conversation. It's just so.
But he ain't lying.
He's not. Nothing he said was a lie. It's just kind of like.
That's all he want to do. See how you just laughed? It
was funny. It was good to hear him in that light because he sounded good. You know, I didn't look at the visuals, but he did sound like.
He said some shit about, I remember this because I got to call this. Damn, hold on, bro. Why do we care about what hole a person wants to go in? So if I'm going to go in the ear, what are we going to call that? That's a hole. Everybody's paying attention to what holes niggas is dealing with. And what does it make? What difference does it make what hole playing with? That's his business, but if someone to go in the ear, what we going to call him that? What? Everybody got ears. He gonna say some crazy shit that makes sense. It's gonna make you laugh though.
Right.
Yeah,
you got to be able to keep up with him, though. I'm not going to lie. You got to be able to keep up, but it's definitely going to make sense. And that's what I was saying yesterday when we was hearing it. We would pause it and, just talk. He definitely makes sense. You got to just shift through all the bullshit, the shit, smoke and mirrors. And then, I thought I heard him clearly, and I do hear that, he wants to. It's about his legacy. It's about, his kids, what his kids are going to remember him by, or what they're going to hear when they grow up. So he's saying he only has about like a year and a half, before his daughter turns 9, before she starts to comprehend certain things. So he's really just trying to, be a good dad and leave a good legacy behind. So That was his main focus that I heard, and his main motivation for, putting out what he said he's going to put out about how he wasn't the one who leaked the shit. Like, that was a whole play, certain things. And then he showed Cam something that we didn't see. And I'm still curious about what the hell he showed him or whatever. But yeah, he was just pretty much like, saying that the people out there that are not feeling what he's about to put out there. There's people out there that won't be feeling it, and he needs to go stay in Cam Newton's bunker. I said, this crazy. He was like, you got a bunker? So yeah, it just seemed like Ray J's about to, get it all off his chest.
Over by them Kardashians, though, the way
yeah, he did. That was the main thing, because he mentioned
with the whole sex tape situation. And,
yeah.
I know you don't. Go ahead, Evan. Because
I was just gonna say he mentioned he wouldn't mention. Look, he wouldn't mention Kim's name, but he did mention what's the redhead guy's name that she put, the
Blake Griffin,
basketball player. Yeah, Blake. He mentioned Blake, and he did mention Reggie Bush. So what he was referencing, because those were two people. He was like, he just wants to know what they're doing now, how they're doing. He said he just wants to give them a hug. That right there spoke volumes to me. You know what I mean? These were people, people that are connected to.
It was probably the other boy, Humphreys.
Chris Humphries. Yeah, Chris Humphries.
Who did you just say? Yeah, it was whatever
because you said Red.
Yeah, that was
Reggie
before
Bush
him.
and Chris
That was before him, though, Blake.
Whoever two people that was connected to Kim Kardashian.
The two.
Reggie Bush came after. Humphries came after. Before him was
Blake, right? She was married.
Before
she was married to the black dude.
The person that she was married to was a producer.
Oh yeah.
The brother was named producer all them hits. Listen, 2Ps. The one Del Dog told on it. I mean,
you talk about Damon Thomas.
Damon Thomas. Yeah, remember when that shit went on? Yeah. He had Del Dog with the extortion or some shit. He had Del Dog in the county. So Damon Thomas is the first husband, and then it was a feud. It was Nick Cannon, because we warned Nick that the tape was coming, so he can get out the way. All them other people, Humphries and Reggie Bush, all them people came after.
But yeah, that's like how they put out, like, to the media, they was trying to make it seem like this dude was trying to leak the tapes and this, that, and the third.
They ain't do nothing wrong. They did their job. That was
but then it is. But it's like at the end of the day, people look at him like he was trying to leak a female sex tapes and shit, and like so he gets that backlash.
He said revenge porn.
But this is the thing, right? You can still go to Vegas right now to one of them hotels and order that tape on television, on their screen right now. Now, her being as big as she is, that family being as big as he is, do you really think that was a leak?
Exactly. That's the whole point. No. It come out that it's constructed by Kris Jenner. Mm-hmm. And like they just use the scapegoat so she don't come off as like a bitch that's putting out a porn. Mm-hmm. And it just looks like she's trying to save herself and just capitalize on a moment, so it allowed her to get all of these sponsorships by places that really wouldn't naturally sponsor porn stars, because she looked like a victim instead of a porn star. Like, they played it perfectly. But he came off as like now he can't do, like he's saying, Dancing with the Stars and those PG shows that he would have gotten because he's big enough of a star to do it. But
the thing was, that was the play right there. So you can't hold that against him if that was a play. Bitch followed orders.
That's real, because I mean he got to sign off too. I mean, really, when he think about it,
bitch followed orders. Like, that was the play. That was the play. The whole play, well, you got to remember, at that time, Kim Kardashian was nobody.
He was the name. He was the name.
He was the name. Kim,
was he Brandy's little brother at that time, or did he have?
One Wish was already out.
One Wish was out.
Okay. Brandy's assistant.
Yeah, she was Brandy's assistant. She was nobody. Nobody even knew. The closest they knew to that family was the dad, who had died, part of the OJ shit, the attorney.
Didn't she get in trouble? Did she get in trouble for taking something from Brandy or something?
Yeah, $800,000 worth of shit off the credit card, buying clothes for family members, right? So when they dropped it, It wasn't like she was the Kim Kardashian today. She was nobody. Nobody knew who she was. They just knew the name because of the dad. You know what I'm saying? Remember the dad sat on the O.J. Simpson case.
Rob Kardashian.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, right. Yeah. So the whole play was Ray J did this behind your back. Ray J did what behind your back? Oh my God. And that's what drove the sales. That's what drove it. She got paid to say that. She gets a cut right now today of those sales. That shit do $1 million a year when it ain't no spark. Anytime he does something or she does something, this shit'll boost even more.
Yeah, he was saying that, like, as the 20-year-old Ray J, it's like, yeah, you know, that didn't seem like it was that bad. But he said that was because Cam asked who benefited more, you know, from that tape being released. And he was like, that was the single most worst thing that ever happened to him, is what he's saying. That actual sex tape, back then, it didn't seem like it. But in retrospect and just everything that's came behind that, you know, the whole revenge porn. And he was like, that's a felony. He was like, that's, you know, they're putting murder on me. They're putting revenge porn on me. They're putting a drug dealer on me. Like all these false ass shit. And he's just like, you know what I mean? But the whole Kim Kardashian revenge porn, he said, was like the worst thing. You know, because at the time, as a young person, it's like, you know, you look at it one way, but now you have kids and some more shit. And, you know, he said the world just, they just, you know, be putting all that shit on them. So it does seem like, he said he's in therapy, you know.
Man, if that nigga in therapy because it's a camera in there, that nigga don't give a fuck about people.
Yeah, I was about to say, that nigga, he seemed like he's smart. He seemed like he understand. He kind of cleared the assignment. He know what the fuck going on.
Yeah.
And even what he doing right now is pushing it back out to the media to what we will
dry them numbers back up.
Well, not even just that, but I mean, we kind of gonna give him that benefit of the doubt now. So now, you know, his core fan bases and the people that heard the interview gonna look at it a little different.
Like, I thought you was talking about the sex tape.
It's like, no, just looking at him in general, like, okay, yeah, you know what, that is true. And really, everybody already think Kris Jenner is like a, you know,
grooming,
evil genius,
freak,
a pimp. Yeah. So
and that Corey guy, I'm still a little, but whatever, we won't get on that. But yeah, it was a great interview. One other thing he said was that he had gotten blackballed. So that was like, he got blackballed, but then he came up with like other, you know, things like he got into the tech, the electric bikes and all that other shit that he got into. Ray J was blackballed.
What's the time
in the actual industry?
I mean, you got to remember, even after the sex tapes had been out, and they started to climb, their whole disposition was to try to clean that up and reshape her image. So the only way to do that was, like Brock said, to turn the nigga into the villain.
That's not that.
When you're dealing with that type of shit, you know, when you got a certain network that wants to do business with them because they become who they become, and he coming through the same doors he been coming in, and they like, well, we got more of a run with them because they're a new thing than what we've been doing over here. Yeah, the blackballing to start. Definitely.
Which forces you to go indie, which is why he had to do all those companies and shit on his own with the Chinese people. Because
I mean,
he said they tried to reach out to them people in China, but it didn't work. Like, you can't.
Yeah, I mean, shit, Sexy Cat was indie. We had to do that indie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that shit indie. Koch Records.
So was he signed at one point? He was signed and then not signed anymore?
He used to be signed to Beyonce daddy.
Oh. Matthew, no.
Hey, Sexy Canard was after the sex tape or before the sex tape?
After.
Damn, I didn't even realize that. That shows true. So, okay, so y'all was facing...
Yeah, we went... Yeah, so I did... Once I seen what they was doing, I said, we gonna click it all the way on. I went and did a mixtape, had K. Slate hosted, called Snakes in the Grass, and it was animation of Ray J bending it over from the back on the cover. I didn't get it. It's a fact.
Then the I Hit It First came a couple years later.
Yeah. Once I seen that's what they was using holding against it, I ran with it.
Ain't no other way to do it at this point.
Yeah.
Might as well.
I had to go do that through Ingrooves.
What's Ingrooves? That's the distribution?
Yeah.
Right. That's crazy because I didn't even know who that was. So damn, you had to go reach out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn. Then he said he was getting dressed, to take his daughter, to this Disney event that Brandy was, I believe, hosting or a part of or something. And then she ends up calling him like, "Hey, bro, it's 18 and up," because she knew that he had his daughter. He was saying so. She just didn't want him to come. He's just like, he's not a brother anymore. That's how he kind of started it off. He's like, "I'm not a brother."
Well, he said her team, who she was dealing with, actually did that. You know what I'm saying? Called him. Actually called him and basically said what type of party it was, and he felt some type of way. Like, if you just didn't want me to come, you could have just said that. But just saying certain said things to him to make him not feel welcomed and things like that, or he feels like he's an embarrassment to Brandy.
I wanted to ask Wack, since he knows, he knows Ray J, he knows the ins and outs and certain things. And the last thing I want to say, he also mentioned the Kanye thing, like, so the whole, like, I guess Kanye must have gave it to Kim Kardashian. My bad for the background. But Kanye must have gave, whatever Ray J gave to him, the computer or whatever.
He called me. I did an interview on Bootleg Kev show. And Bootleg Kev asked about the shit. I said, well, at the time, I think I was going at it with Kim Kardashian and them attorneys. I might have said someone in there. The attorney went on there and called me a liar. Then I doubled back on Instagram and said, call me another liar. I'm going to show you what it really looked like. You the one that wasn't around. I said, go back to your client and mention Santa Barbara. And I put up a picture of a Cinnabon. Right? So he must have went back and mentioned Santa Barbara, and they went on mute. Because at that point in time, they knew exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, when they go on mute, Ye see it. They call me. Wack, what up, Ye? What up, homie? I ain't no fool, bro, and I know you. They was real beating their chest until you said what the Santa Barbara and Cinnabon. I said, bro, it's 3 tapes. He said, no way. This is a fact. He said, you got proof? I said, yeah. I sent him the contracts. He's looking at the contracts. Deliverable 1, deliverable 2, deliverable 3, right? He's looking at them. So he like, I seen you say on the podcast that you would never do nothing with it, but give it to me. I said, yeah. I said, we ain't looking to do trying to get that shit for years, a decade now. He like, well, shit, will you honor that? I said, matter of fact, shit, I'm gonna have him give it to you directly. He like, Wack, will you bring it to me? I said, no, I'm gonna have him bring it to you. He like, cool, I got to go to the airport. Have him meet me at the airport. I called Ray, hey, boom, 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 boom. Ray said, that what you want to do? I said, shit, we ain't gonna do nothing with it anyway. Get it out of our hands. So he went and got it out the safe, and he took it to Ye. Then I guess they set it up for Ye to bring it to him on like their reality show or something. And Ye gave them the shit on the reality show. And then one of the sisters said, I thought you said nothing else with it, whatever. And then Kim Kardashian said, maybe I was drugged and don't remember. Maybe somebody put something up my ass and I was drugged and didn't remember. Right? Another violation. But at that point in time, Ye didn't knew everybody was full of shit over there. Because it was real easy with us. They like, nigga, they not the problem. Y'all the problem. Because y'all want to, remember, Ye going through what he going through now. He the victim now. You get what I'm saying? Y'all want everybody the victim. You know what I'm saying? He like called Wack. It wasn't no backing. It wasn't no nothing. It wasn't no how much money. It wasn't no charge. It wasn't no none of that shit. They simply just gave it to me. But yet the whole time, I guess they were saying it never exists.
Hey, but see, this was crazy. They try to make you out to be like this person that's gonna hold that over a nigga head, make him have to come up off something for it. This, that, and the third. But yeah, do none of that. So, because if it was on that would have been the time to do it.
Yeah, because they was like, I said, bro, we wouldn't do nothing with that. I said, bro, she got kids. her and Ye married. I said we wouldn't do nothing with that. We wouldn't put that shit out. Like, well, what would you do with it? So we'd give it to Ye. That's about it. Other than that, it's just in the same. So, and they heard that.
So Ray J's thing was he gave it to Kim. So was there like some type of like, I guess, conversation that
that's his business.
Yeah, but he was like, why would you give it?
We don't give a you take it too. That's your business.
But on the interview, he said something like, you know, to the effect, and maybe, you know, we have to re-listen to it, that like, you know, it seemed like he kind of betrayed him and gave it to Kim, you know, to.
Betrayed who? What are you talking about? That's his business.
No. I know. That's what I would think. That's why I wouldn't think it would be an issue, but I got to go back and listen to the exact part he said. But
he wasn't giving about who, like.
And I would think he would.
Why would we care about him giving something to somebody that they already know what it is?
Clubhouse TV. Clubhouse TV. Clubhouse TV.
Yo, what up, YouTube? It's Clubhouse TV, back with another one, man. Y'all heard the content, and I appreciate y'all for checking in. But, man, WACK100 reacted to Ray J in the Cam Newton interview where Ray J says Kardashians and the sex tape ruined his life. Now, hit that like, comment, and subscribe because WACK100 reacted to Ray J and finally spoke his truth on Cam Newton's podcast, saying that the sex tape with Kim K and all that Kardashian drama ruined his life. So let's get into it now. I've been telling y'all for years, Ray J was never the villain. He got painted like the bad guy just because he was a young R&B dude out here living wild and honest. But the whole Kardashian machine flipped the narrative and capitalized. Now, y'all remember that tape made them famous, but it cost him everything. And in the Cam Newton interview, you could hear the pain in Ray J's voice, talking about how it's messed up his business deals, his public image, and even how he looked at himself. But real talk, Ray J been solid. Folks forget they demonized him to uplift that family. He ain't just lose endorsements, he lost respect in rooms he built his way into. Now, we seen Ray J hustle firsthand. Tech world, music, TV. He's a true entrepreneur. But the stigma of that tape followed him like a ghost. And the cold part, they flipped it into a $1 billion brand off his name. Kim K got a whole empire off of it. And Ray, he got left holding the L. They tried to silence him every time he spoke up. But let's be real. That tape wasn't leaked. It was a planned play. And Ray J signed what he had to sign, just like a lot of us did in this dirty game. But now, he's finally speaking up, and I respect it. The interview was raw, it was real. And you could tell bro been holding that in for years. So, to all the fans who clowns Ray J, who will brush off what he's saying, y'all better open y'all's eyes. That man ain't bitter for nothing. He's wounded, and rightfully so. Kardashians got rich off his name, and he had to eat the fallout. But salute to Ray for finally taking the mic and telling his truth. It's Clubhouse TV, y'all. Don't forget who really put y'all on game. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you're always notified when I drop new content. Subscribe to the media team so you get that exclusive WACK100 content. Any questions, suggestions, need me to advertise for you on my channel with over 44,000 subscribers? Just get at me on IG and I'll get right back to you. As always, certainly appreciate y'all checking out Clubhouse TV. We off to the next one. Peace.